Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is time for update 8 of the Deck of Panning Project Pan. This was started by Emily and Max. I will link her video down below so you can check out how to play. Yeah, so I was late last month posting this update, and now I'm late this month posting because we're supposed to be posting on the 20th, so whoops. So hopefully next month I will be more on track. It's been that kind of September, August, yeah, really crazy. But anyway, let's get into the products. Let's see how I did, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with some eyeshadows, random color generator. So the shade Mahogany Brown, I picked that, I think it was like 2 or 3 updates ago. It was this shade right here. This is in the Chocolate Bar palette. This shade is Triple Fudge, which matches Mahogany Brown. And I had to use this shade 2 more times since the last update to get the 7 uses that I set for it, and that was very easy to achieve. So that was really it for that. Really enjoyed using that. Loved using it as an eyeliner. That's usually how I used it. So, but the good thing is this palette is still in my Shop My Stash for the next few months, so I can still obviously use all of the shadows in this palette any way I want to use them. So that's cool. And then I had the Naked 3 palette, which looks like this. Obviously, we've seen this before. And my goal was to use these 4 shades in a row, 2 times each. So really low goals I set, which I'm trying to get out of doing that because I think I'm cycling through things a little too quickly. I was only left with Burnout and Limit, these 2 shades right here, the last time, and I only had to use them 1 more time. So again, really easy, use them both 1 more time, and the prompt for this was like balancing act, so like product that didn't give enough pigment or that gave too much, and for this it was not enough pigment, but then I found that they were like just perfectly pigmented enough for me. So I ended up really enjoying using those, and time for them to be put away. I hit that goal pretty early on after the last update, so it feels like forever since I've actually used those shades. Next, we had an SPF product, which was the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Tint, and I mentioned this in my empties video because I emptied it out. That was the goal. I really enjoyed using this. I got it for free from Influencer, and I wanted to use it up because I had this for a little bit. I forget when I got this exactly, but I just didn't want to have it for another year. I just wanted to get it used up and move on to something else. It was good. It was great. Wouldn't buy it again though because it's 40 bucks, which is a little bit more than I want to spend on a tinted moisturizer right now at least. So this is obviously rolled out because it's finished, and cool, another goal met. I had MAC Dazzle Light, which was a product that began with D. Actually, it was brand that begins with D, which I didn't have, so I just picked Dazzle Light by MAC, and my goal was to use this shadow 10 times, and I had hit 5 times the last update, and then met my 5 uses between the last update and now. So we can roll this one out. And you can see that there's like a good dip going. I've had this for a really long time. This is one of my oldest eyeshadows, and I was so excited just to give it more love because it has been sitting in my collection just being old and dusty. And I've enjoyed using it. I really have. But that said, I'm also ready to kind of put it away for a while because I'm satisfied with the 10 uses on that one. So glad I got to use it at all. So 10 uses was great for me, and we can roll that out. Last time I picked 5 different products. So the first product is the Pick Your Space. So I picked a nail polish. I guess you could pick whatever you wanted. And I picked the OPI Nail Lacquer in the shade Over the Taupe. My goal is to use this 4 times, which for me is a lot because I have so many nail polishes and I like to kind of use as many as I can within the season it's appropriate for. So yeah, 4 times is definitely a lot. Twice is a lot. So I only used this once, which is actually on my nails right now. So I kind of saw that happening because when I pulled this in last month, it was still pretty warm, and this wasn't something I was ready to whip out just yet. But I also felt this was a good one to use because I could kind of drag it out through fall, maybe even early winter. So yeah, I've only used this 1 time, so I have 3 more uses left to go on this, which, like I said, could drag out till winter. I could see that happening. So, and then I had the random uses. I ended up going with the NYX Ginger Snap Butter Gloss, and my goal was to use this 10 times, and I used it 11 times. So this went really quickly for me over the past month, and I used it way more than I was anticipating. I realized it's like a super dark color, and usually that's not something I wear often, but I didn't need a lot of it, and I felt like it looked pretty nice with just like a few little dabs of it on. I just like kept it in my work bag, never would take it out. A lot of the lip products that I have are a little bit drying, and this isn't. So I would kind of quickly grab for it if I felt my lips were a little bit dry. Sometimes I would reapply with this instead of the color that I originally wore that day. So I found that happened a few times. So yeah, I hit that goal really quickly, and a lot quicker than I thought I would. What I think I'm gonna do is just keep using this throughout the season, because I do want to get as much use out of this as I can. Really enjoy this, and that really surprises me with how dark it is. I did not see that coming, but I love surprises like that. Then I had a product that reminds you of spring, and I ended up picking the Tarte In Bloom palette. The In Bloom, I guess, the floral theme, something I usually pull out in the spring. My goal is to use this palette 15 times, and so far I've used it 6 out of the 15 times. I'm really happy getting to get more use out of this and just like enjoy this palette in different parts of the year, not just the spring, which it's so neutral. Like, obviously you can use this anytime. The next prompt, it was the OG YouTube favorite. I ended up picking the Glossier Cloud Paints, and this one is in the shade Storm, and my goal was to use this 15 times, and I used it 6 out of the 15 times. I kind of want to spread out the uses on this because I'm really focusing on a Project Pan blush right now. I really want to hit pan. So I'm happy to be using this for the rest of the fall into the winter. I don't care how long it takes, but yeah, I definitely want to see some usage, because this one you don't need a ton of it, but you have to be really like careful with it. So yeah, I definitely want to see more usage on this and get this one going, but I do love this, so still in the project. The least expensive prompt, and I ended up going with this Shop Miss A AOA Studio foundation. This is the buildable satin foundation. Is it buff or sand? I forget. But anyway, the goal is to use this 10 times, and I used it 4 times out of 10. So 6 more uses. I kind of felt like I was cheating with this product because I use foundation all the time and I only have like 2 bottles. Yeah. It's such a tiny bottle, so I'm curious how long this is going to last. So it is the cheapest, but is it really though? Because this thing is only like 0.64 ounces. I don't know how long that's gonna last. But yeah, it was cheap out front paying for it, so yep, we got 6 more uses to go. Now it's time to pick cards. I'm going to make this really easy and pick just one card because I still have so many products that need to hit their goal. That was by design. I tried to make the goals a little bit longer this time, so I'm thrilled just having to pick one thing this time. Next update, we'll pick more, but let's see what I get. The jokers are in here, I think. Yep, box is empty. The Ace of Clubs. The Ace of Clubs is add another product. So does that mean I have to draw another card? So excited just to pull one, but I think that's what they mean. So we're just gonna go with that. Okay, the King of Hearts, the oldest product. Okay, so I'm taking this to mean I can just add another product that I want and just do usage on it. And the oldest. So I'm gonna go pick my products and I will be right back. All right, I picked my 2 things, and for the oldest, now, I'm not 100% sure if this is like the oldest thing in my collection, but it's up there. It's up there. This you might have recognized from other projects I've done. So this is the Ulta shade in Truffle, which is discontinued. This is super old, and I always really liked this. This was always like a favorite of mine. Then it kind of fell from like favorite status, but I still liked it enough to keep using it. It doesn't look that exciting on my hand, but it does have a nice finish to it. So this should be easy. I think I'm gonna go with 10 uses on this one, and maybe I can even expand the pan. So we'll see, but I definitely think this is one of the oldest products that I own. It was either this or a MAC one, and I think the MAC one that would have been the oldest is in my Shop My Stash right now anyway, so I didn't really feel the need to put that in a project. So the next one I am putting in this project, which is another one that's going to be 10 uses, is this e.l.f. Smudge Pot in Brownie Points, which I've pulled in so many times like throughout the year, but I never get as much use out of it as I would like to. So I'm really going to push for 10 uses on this, and it is a really pretty, still really well performing eyeshadow. I just don't give it love at all, but how pretty though. It's like a chocolate metallic brown. I just have never been able to make up my mind about it. Like, I always felt like I was really impressed by this eyeshadow, but then don't really reach for it that much for whatever reason. We'll get 10 uses out of it and see if it's something that I want to keep around. I don't even think e.l.f. makes these smudge pots anymore, but this is something I definitely want to get 10 uses on. Maybe even see if I still like it, kind of a thing. So yeah. Ended up pulling in 2 products there, which was not what I was expecting to do, but don't really have much control over the kind of card you're going to pick. So that is my update, guys. And we shall see how I do with these and see if anything gets rolled out between now and the next update. And hopefully I will be on time for my next update. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later and see you in my next video. Bye!